Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman. John Cena versus Randy Orton for the final time. Becky Lynch heel turn. Io Sky against Stephanie Kerr. The Raw after WrestleMania was an absolute movie, and we have a ton to talk about. So let's dive right into this. To kick off Raw after WrestleMania, John Cena, of course, he opened the show and he showed off that he is our new real last champion. He cut a great promo and he was taking jabs at the fans, of course, because it was so weird at WrestleMania. The fans, even when he was cutting the promo on Raw last night, the fans loved John Cena. And as he was literally disrespecting them in the ring last night, they were literally chanting, "We are sorry." Like, you can't make this up. I actually felt bad for Cody Rhodes during the main event in night 2 because Cody Rhodes should not be getting booed. And these are the same people that were literally cheering for Cody Rhodes last year at WrestleMania 40 when Cody finished his story. And now we have this disrespectful, wanting to ruin pro wrestling John Cena, and everyone loves it. And it's honestly kind of funny, like pretty cool as well. I like that a lot of the heels are getting a lot of fans behind them, and it's organic too. No heel is being forced down anyone's throats. A lot of them are just so organic, and I love this. And it was a great demonstration when John Cena was cutting his promo last night, continuing to disrespect the fans, saying that I need to teach you guys how to have a functionable relationship. And the fans still were cheering him, and they literally were apologizing to Cena when Cena should be apologizing to us. And at the very end of John Cena's promo, as he said, take a good picture of this title and me, because basically this is going to be one of the final times that you will see John Cena with that title, and before he ruins wrestling altogether. The Viper strikes out of nowhere. Randy Orton, he creeped behind John Cena, and he gave John Cena an RKO, and right before he gave the RKO, John Cena said, "Shit." I thought that was really funny, but I think we're getting set to see Randy Orton against John Cena at Backlash. Great move by WWE, because what better way to get Cena that genuine heat, because everyone loves him right now. They booed Cody Rhodes, the face of the company, but we're going to Backlash. We're going to St. Louis, Missouri, where Randy Orton is from. This is his hometown. Why would the hometown crowd boo Randy Orton if he's going one-on-one with John Cena for the WWE Championship? Randy Orton is reaching up that ladder as well when it comes to potentially passing John Cena's record. So I think it's a great idea. Randy Orton, John Cena, and this is my childhood feud growing up, but we're going to see this for one final time. What better way to try and get Cena that genuine heat where people are starting to boo him, and to have a match at Backlash where it's in St. Louis, Missouri, and it's Randy Orton's hometown. He has home field advantage. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are 4-time tag team women's champions. As Liv Morgan always says, they are the greatest, most iconic, and yeah, the whole spiel about that. They're the greatest women's tag team of all time. I don't understand why they lost it at WrestleMania. I guess they wanted to give Becky Lynch a win in her big return, even though they pulled Bayley, which I still am kind of upset about. I wish Bayley was on the card, but I guess they wanted Becky Lynch to get that WrestleMania big return win. I was hoping that Becky would turn at WrestleMania. That would have been huge for Lyra Valkyria, especially. We got Liv Morgan and Raquel winning the titles back on last night, Monday Night Raw, the Raw after WrestleMania. Even though they shouldn't have lost it at Mania if this is what they were going to do, I still liked it. One, it adds to Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez's resume. Also, Becky Lynch still got a huge pop for turning heel. In the long run, this will benefit Lyra Valkyria to the moon. Rusev Day is back. Rusev absolutely annihilated Alpha Academy. It looked like he was going to literally squash the New Day, but good thing that the New Day did not get squashed. We need them to look as powerful as possible, because, my God, whoever holds those tag team championships are just, they get no love. So it was good that they didn't want to bury the tag team champions. Yeah, it didn't bury Alpha Academy. They're a great group to use to try and put someone else over. It doesn't ruin Otis for me. I'm still a huge Otis fan. And it doesn't ruin Akira Tozawa for me either. And by the way, great mic skills by Maxine Dupri. We need to see more of that, and I hope she can evolve her role as a manager and speak for Otis and Akira Tozawa a lot more. Io Sky and Stephanie Kerr had an absolute classic match for free. When Stephanie came out, I was like, oh my god, are we gonna get a title versus title match? Is Stephanie Vaquer gonna be a two-time double champion? Like, I was just in awe because this is a dream match. These two are some of the greatest wrestlers in the entire world. Io Sky is absolutely phenomenal. She showcased that at WrestleMania 41. In my opinion, the women's triple threat at WrestleMania was the greatest match of all of WrestleMania. By far, there was no question when it comes to storytelling, when it comes to in-ring wise, when it comes to really getting your emotions involved with the false finishes, kickouts, just fantastic moves. Absolutely, Io Sky showcased why she is arguably the greatest women's wrestler on the entire roster, NXT and WWE. But Stephanie Vaquer is either right there with Io Sky, or you can argue that she's a little bit ahead of Io Sky. I think it's even. These two women are absolutely phenomenal, and the fact that we got like a 20-minute classic 5-star match was insane. And shout out to Stephanie Vaquer getting that main roster debut. The Raw after WrestleMania, there's going to be a ton of eyes on the show. Obviously, there was like 20,000 people in attendance. Roxanne Perez ends the match in a DQ by attacking Io Sky because she wants that NXT championship from Stephanie Vaquer. But then we got to see Julia step in. So Julia and Roxanne, they actually were teaming up, and then Rhea Ripley came out, and we got a tease of what might be in the future between Julia and Rhea Ripley. I am a huge Julia fan, and I'm also a huge Rhea Ripley fan as well. This would be a dream match in my eyes, and it's also a dream match in Julia's eyes. As she said on the Busted Open podcast, if she had to pick her dream opponent, Rhea Ripley was one of those people. I felt like it was awesome, and I'm so glad WWE decided to bring in some of their NXT talent on the biggest Raw of the year, which is right after WrestleMania. Jey Uso celebration, shout out to Jey Uso, obviously winning at WrestleMania 41, defeating Gunther. We got a nice celebration with Jey. Sami Zayn returned. He wanted to congratulate Jey Uso. Sami at first, like, he seemed normal. And then Jey Uso and Sami, they went to go celebrate together. Sami went to go yeet with Jey. Jey went on the turnbuckle. He was starting to yeet. Sami Zayn is giving him this death stare. And then I was like, oh, hold on. We can seriously get some OG bloodline old beef reinforced into a title match. Like, they could bring up stuff from the OG bloodline days where Jey Uso would actually trash on Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn, like, not understanding why. It would be best if Sami is the heel in the situation. If they do want to set up this Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso down the line for the World Heavyweight Championship, keep Jey Uso as the babyface, boost his stock to the moon. I know it's already, like, to the moon, but boost it even more. We got to see Karrion Kross, not in the ring, but we got to see him backstage as he confronted AJ Styles after AJ Styles took a loss for the entire professional wrestling universe and all the superstars in the back, as Karrion Kross wanted AJ Styles to just get the job done at WrestleMania against Logan Paul. And even if that had to be doing the wrong thing would have led to the right thing. And that might not make sense to some people, but in this situation, let's be real, Logan Paul would have deserved any type of wrong type of thing to do when it comes to doing it to someone like Logan Paul. AJ Styles, he's not understanding or agreeing with Karrion Kross when Karrion wanted AJ to hit him with the brass knuckles at WrestleMania, and that led to AJ Styles taking a loss in what might be one of his last WrestleMania appearances or his last WrestleMania appearance. And to go out like that, AJ, you should have just listened to Karrion Kross. And I think we're going to get a big feud and a huge push for Karrion Kross. I don't know if anyone saw his promo that he had on the Not Sam podcast, which is a fantastic podcast. Karrion Kross, you got to look it up. I watched it like 2 or 3 times because of how good Karrion Kross is when it comes to showing emotion into his promos, and he kind of just sounded off on the Not Sam podcast. Definitely check it out. If you just look it up on YouTube, I'm sure it'll come up. I'm a big fan of Karrion Kross, and I hope AJ Styles and Karrion Kross can get a big push feud down the line. Gunther absolutely annihilated Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. Michael Cole was basically saying, Gunther, I'm not the one who tapped. You shouldn't be getting mad at me, because Gunther was obviously frustrated when he came out. Gunther, he lost the title and he tapped out to Jey Uso, someone who he had really no faith in of beating him at all. So the fact that Michael Cole was being like, yo, Gunther, you tapped out, dude. Like, don't get mad at me. I didn't tap out like you. Almost mocking attacking Gunther, and Gunther had enough. He literally smacked Michael Cole's headset off, and Michael Cole's glasses came off as well. And then Pat McAfee stepped in. Michael Cole was put in a sleeper hold by Gunther, and then Pat McAfee stepped in, gave Gunther a little jab. Gunther was like, oh no, dude, like, you didn't just hit me. When, if we're being real here, Gunther is at his lowest point ever when it comes to him being on the main roster. He's defeated. He feels no confidence, no self-confidence whatsoever. Don't play with him. Don't play with him. We know what Walter can do. We know what Gunther can do. And Gunther put Pat McAfee in a sleeper hold for like a minute and a half straight. I don't know if Pat was selling it this good, but Pat McAfee was almost like choking. Like it seriously looked like Gunther was getting him real good. It seriously looked like Pat McAfee was about to fall asleep because Gunther had that hold on so tight and for a really long time. We might be seeing a Gunther versus Pat McAfee showdown at some point, which I wouldn't mind. They did a great job at already making me feel invested into it. The commentary crew needs to be afraid of Gunther. What better way than having a guy on commentary that can actually fight to defend the commentary crew? Who doesn't love Pat McAfee? Penta versus Dominic Mysterio. Thank goodness Dominic Mysterio retained, but it was all because, not because of Finn Balor helping out. I think Finn Balor was looking for any way to cost Dominic the match, but thank goodness JD McDonough helped out and Dominic Mysterio got the victory. And you could tell right after Dom got the victory, Finn Balor was looking at JD McDonough kind of like, what are you doing? Like, I want him to lose when it's the Judgment Day. You're supposed to feel good in any type of group. If your teammates are winning, you're winning at the same time. Especially as Finn Balor says that he's this leader role in the Judgment Day when there are no leaders. If you are the self-proclaimed leader of the Judgment Day, shouldn't you feel happy about your teammates winning? Like, you should feel proud that Dominic is the Intercontinental Champion. Obviously, Dominic pinned Finn Balor. I mean, Finn Balor kind of had it going for him because Finn Balor has been disrespecting Dominic Mysterio for months. We could go back 2 or 3 months ago, and Finn Balor kind of just tosses Dominic around verbally, saying stuff like, you got to be like me if you want to win. Well, Dominic did it his way, and he won, and he's one of the most over guys in the company, I feel like, right now. The fans absolutely love Dominic Mysterio. And now for the finale. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman in a faction. When Roman Reigns got speared, and it was someone in a hoodie, I had no clue of who it even could possibly be. Maybe a return, maybe a new signing from like AEW. Like, I had no idea. When Braun Breaker revealed himself and showed that it was him, I sat up and I was like, there is no way. And I instantly thought of Brock Lesnar. Braun Breaker is almost like the newer era of Brock Lesnar. Obviously, Brock Lesnar physically, from a visual perspective, is a ginormous monster. That's not saying Braun Breaker isn't like a monster. Brock Lesnar is a whole different breed. But Braun Breaker, in-ring wise, surpasses Brock Lesnar. And Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, dude, this is literally like a Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman 2.0. This is how I'm viewing it. And let's look at it from this perspective. Seth Rollins could also be a mentor in this role to Braun Breaker. And it kind of seemed like that when Seth Rollins was so happy to see that Braun Breaker speared Roman Reigns and saying, that's my boy. It seems like they can almost be like a tag team, or they could go their separate ways and still be managed under Paul Heyman. I'm very curious on how they're going to book Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. I feel like any way they do it, I'm going to be very excited. Do we see Roman Reigns and CM Punk wanting to team up against Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker after this? Because they need to get revenge. I could definitely see Roman Reigns and CM Punk wanting to handle business with no other outsiders, and they just want to face Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Let's go back a little bit. Didn't Braun Breaker spear Roman Reigns in the Royal Rumble this past year? And then also, Seth Rollins defended the World Heavyweight Championship against Braun Breaker in NXT a little over a year ago. Paul Heyman managed Braun Breaker for that one night. I think it was the night after WrestleMania 40 or something like that, when like Cody Rhodes came to NXT and John Cena did too. I forget which night it was. Did they tease this like over a year ago and we're just seeing this now? This Raw after WrestleMania was probably the best that I've ever seen. This Raw was better than WrestleMania because it gave us new feuds, new character development, just pure storylines right from the get-go. That's just my opinion. I absolutely loved every single segment, every single match, every single promo. Everything about this Monday Night Raw was absolutely flawless, and it was very much needed, especially after the Night 2 main event criticism. I'm kind of a part of that criticism as well. I didn't like how the ending of the main event of Night 2 was. So to see that they kind of cleaned up a lot of the mess that they made at the end of WrestleMania with this fantastic show on Monday Night Raw last night, we are in for a awesome year for 2025 and 2026. WrestleMania 42 is going to be a banger if we're looking at the landscape of this entire Monday Night Raw that we just had. What was your favorite moment on this Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania 41? Was it better than the actual WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2? I feel like it's debatable. Like, this Monday Night Raw was just that good. Let me know down in the comments below, what was your favorite part of this Monday Night Raw right after WrestleMania? Personally, mine's gotta be the Seth Rollins Braun Breaker. I feel like that might be like a really cliche pick. This could be branched off into several years if we're being real here. The development of Braun Breaker, being supervised under Paul Heyman and supervised under Seth Rollins as well. Braun Breaker is being pushed to the moon right now. I love it. I think it's going to be a fantastic storyline for the next year or maybe more. I feel like this move that WWE made last night has the most potential to cause a ton of noise. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.